did a thing, got around to reading Imperial today. And yeah, somebody in my comments said Hickman was cooking. He's definitely cooking. Oh, yeah. I got this book in. I was trying to find the one that actually wasn't Apple branded. Isaac Asimov's Foundation. I've, heard a lot in the comments about the fact that the series doesn't really follow the book too much. One person made a comment and said that they shouldn't even have Asimov's name attached to the series because it doesn't match the book. I kind of understand. The more I get into analyzing books and movies, I've kind of figured that there's a good reason why books are often different. Now, this is not to make excuses for people that just outright change, whole plot lines of books. And maybe I'll start reading Foundation and figure out that's exactly what happened. But one thing that kind of keyed me into this was watching Ready Player One. I read the book first. Great book. The first token that they found in Ready Player One is, like, when I tell you that the beginning of that movie is absolutely nothing like the book at all. Like, I mean, not even remotely close. But here's the kicker. Ernest Cline, who wrote the book, actually wrote the screenplay for the movie, if I'm not mistaken. And this is what I realized. That first, the opening of that book, they could have spent 5 hours just on that alone. So maybe Ready Player One, to be adequately adapted, would be better done as a series. Now, one might say, well, Foundation is a series, so they should have been able to carry out everything that was in the book. And you get into a little bit of nuance. Now, again, this is not giving Apple a pass because there are some things that change when it comes to the big screen, the silver screen, the streaming screen, that don't really have to change. I often wonder why this happens. But then it just may be that on screen things do not work how you think they would work. You want it to be accurate to the book or the comic book. But if you saw it that way, you might realize that, that really doesn't work on screen like it did in a book. You have to remember, you have an unlimited budget of imagination or of sets and special effects with your imagination. The book will be as vivid as your imagination is, and a lot of times that's what happens. Anyway, let's get to this book, Imperial. I'm not going to do a full walkthrough, but I did want to talk about it because I realized there's so much about Hickman's writing style that I like. And I don't think, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. There are certain parts in Hickman's writing style, in his through lines and his plots, that people get hung up on. And I've noticed this, across the internet, just listening to different people talk about Hickman's writing. When he is building, like, there's a slow buildup and he's laying the groundwork for everything that you're going to see in the book. He might drop a little hint here and a little hint there, some context clues as to what's coming. And you really got to pay attention because as his plots build, you really do have to go back to some things he did before. There were certain books in Ultimate Spider-Man where there was like literally no action. It was all dialogue, but I was fine with that. I've made this point several times. Anyway, Imperial is, I want to say, this is some of the best storytelling that's being done at Marvel, and it's being done by Hickman. Now, granted, he for me is the height of Marvel writing right now, but he's not the only good writer. I don't want to make it seem like he's the only good one, but man, he puts on a masterclass, and Imperial is the build up to something epic. There's so many crazy things that happen, and the art, I like the art. There's something, and I brought this up before, there's a lot of Italians and Brazilians doing amazing stuff in art right now. And I don't know what's going on, what's in the water, what's in the way they're being trained, but man, America, we got to catch up. Anyway, I wanted to show some panels from Imperial because it opens up to a scene of a game being played, and there's a plot going on in the background. This game is some game, I think they called it Sharrat, I think is what the game was called. Yeah, Sharrat. It seems to be some kind of chess style strategy game that's being played by these two beings. What's going on? What's going to happen? What's going to unfold? Well, there's something being played out and everyone is being played. Now, as it goes on, the plot kind of leads everyone to believe that the Wakandans are behind a bunch of assassinations of galactic leaders, one of which being the son of Incredible Hulk, who died by being poisoned on Sakaar. So Hulk is not too happy about this. And this is one of the through lines in the plot that I expect is going to lead to something amazing, because Hulk is angry, super angry. And the reason he's super angry is him and his son had a strained relationship. Son didn't really like him. He never got the opportunity to fix that. And he brings that up when talking with Star-Lord's father. And this is one of the things that is making him super angry. And there's one point where you see his eyes water up, not water up like breaking down. You can tell. And it's funny how dialogue and art can convey this. This is, like I said, I love comic books, but you can tell that it's like an anger fueled tears because he did not get the opportunity to right his wrongs. Somebody stole that opportunity from him. So Hulk is about to go crazy, and I can't wait. There is one scene. So they show back up on Sakaar. You have Amadeus Cho, Brawn, She-Hulk, and Hulk, Bruce Banner, obviously, World Breaker. And it's been a while since he's returned to Sakaar. And he has his people with him. He's challenged by this one alien who clearly doesn't recognize who he's talking to. So I wanted to read this dialogue because it just shows the absolute beastliness of Hulk. So he says, "And you, do any of you have words you wish to speak regarding Hirokala?" No words. That's what Hulk says. And he completely pummels this dude. Now, this dude was speaking mad greasy before this. He was talking like he ruled the world. So Hulk says, "Do you have any words for me?" And he says, "Mercy." And Hulk says, "Wrong planet, friend." Oh, man. Oh, man. And he annihilates this dude. This is how the book opens. This is how the book, it opens straight out the gate with pure unadulterated action. And then it goes into like a galactic murder mystery. I love that. I love that. The thoughtfulness in the writing in this book is what I like, because it goes beyond surface level. And look, I'm here to tell you, there was a time in history where comic books were looked at as juvenile. And rightfully so, because in the inception of comic books, it was kind of juvenile. But I would say comic books now have moved, and for many years, I would say for at least 30 or 40 years, have moved way beyond juvenile. Now, this doesn't mean that kids early to late teens, obviously late teens, but early teens and even earlier, it doesn't mean they can't read these books. Now, some of these books have themes that are maybe a little mature for kids that are too young. but there are other books they can read. But I said all that to say the themes and the schemes and the way plots are laid out in these books, this is some great writing. This is some great writing. And the fact that it has visuals with the writing is like I understand why comic books at some point got so popular. Now they're not as popular as they once were, obviously. There's some changes. But anyway, Hulk is going on a fact-finding mission to find out who killed his son. You find out that there were some toxins he was poisoned with. One of the toxins constantly interrogates the body looking for weakness. When that weakness is found, the other toxin takes effect, the other poison, and then once the host has been weakened to the point of death, then the toxins dissolve. So you don't really know what happened to this person. And I'm like, oh, this is getting deep. This is getting deep. And I like it. I went into this. Look, I'm not going to lie. I went into this knowing that Hickman typically delivers a good story. If he's writing, it's going to be good. And I've said this several times. I said this even when I covered the news of this book. And I can't wait to read the second issue. I enjoyed the art. I enjoyed the story. I won't cover too much. I'll give everyone the opportunity to read the book. I'll show some of the panels, and I'll give a more detailed breakdown. Maybe not going page by page, but a more detailed breakdown. But again, I like the art, and one thing I noticed in this book is, and I've brought this up before. Even recently I brought this up. The fact that sometimes when you get inkers, they overdo the ink work, but this is done to perfection. The inks don't overpower the pencil work. And that's what I love. I love books like this. So yeah, this book, it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger. There's a sniper. That's all I'll say. Like I said, I won't give up too much. I'll give everybody the opportunity and chance to read it, but this book is good. This is one of the, I would say probably just right out the gate, one of the best Marvel stories right now. If just me, on my opinion, you might feel differently, but Hickman doing Hickman things. What did you expect but a good story?